Two dudes reviewing the news, pop culture, video games, movies, and shoes. Quincy and Justin with a nerdy forecast. So stay a while and welcome to the Ugly Mugs Podcast.
There we go.
Welcome to the UglyMugs Podcast. I'm your host, Quincey.
And your other host, Justin.
Eventually, we're going to get it down. I wonder if there's like something we can just like...
There's a scene transition. It's just it won't bring up our camera yet, so I'll figure that out.
Okay. That's fine.
That's
So, today we took a trip to Dutch Bros.
Yep.
But don't worry, they're in mugs.
There we go. It's very strange to drink out of...
Should have just gotten a straw.
Should have just got a straw.
But this is your first time having Dutch Bros, right?
And I regret it.
Why?
It's delicious.
Oh, okay. I was like, what's wrong? I think I've talked about mine before.
I guess you didn't set up the name of the stream. Yo, it's your boy, guy who's always prepared. Go ahead and say what you were going to say. I'm going to change it up right now.
So, mine's the caramelizer as a freeze. I'm pretty sure I've done it before. I think I've done 2 Dutch Bro drinks on here.
I did put 76.
I thought you did.
I did, and it's not supposed to be 76. Oh, no.
Yeah, see? You even messed up last week. You can't do it because the stream's live, can you?
No, I can. It's just...
Yep. We're broken.
Well, screw you. I'm just gonna go like this, and then I'm gonna go to Twitch.tv and just change it. You think I'm afraid? I'm not afraid. So you were saying with Dutch Bros?
Yeah. So it's the caramelizer, which I've pretty sure I've done before, and it's a freeze. But we figured we'd take you there because they have not really a large or big menu, more like
extravagant.
Yeah, it's like dropping a fucking bomb on you of like flavor.
Like when Lauren sent the text and said, "Hey, you're gonna be a little overwhelmed," and I was like, "Oh no, and I had to pick out a flavor. Hi, Cross, and it was a very big cluster truck of what flavor would I want. So what I chose was the electric berry, which is lime and blue raspberry, because I like the falsehood of blue raspberry.
They should have called it electric boogaloo. And just to be clear, Cross, welcome. You will see us here in a second. Justin kind of made an oopsie and we're having to fix something.
And I'm still waiting for the message so that way I can sign in, and then I will change it. What was today's episode going to be named?
I don't know if we actually had one. We normally come up with these on the fly, so...
We do.
What number are we at? 80?
No.
Oh.
75.
No.
Yes.
But you called last episode 76.
I know, because I messed up.
So last episode was supposed to be 74?
Yes.
Okay. So now we're at 75?
Yes.
Yeah, you ruined my perfect joke, by the way.
I'm sorry. Yes. See, 74, and then I jumped it.
As long as it doesn't have Fallout before. I actually rather enjoy the game. I got to play the beta, and then I actually played it when it launched, and I didn't have as many problems. I had a couple small problems, but no game-breaking problems. As for the game-breaking problems, I know they're real, and I know that really ruins the game for people, and that sucks. But as a person that's gotten pretty lucky with the game, I've enjoyed it. And now it's on Game Pass, so I don't have to get up and put the disc in. So, I'm lazy. I enjoy going on there. They've added a lot of cool new stuff. It's him talking about not having Fallout. I'll let you know if there's a new message.
I can. Yeah, it's just I thought I'd have my new glasses by now, but alas.
So episode 75.
Yeah, this is the first time where we're like 400% unprepared because I don't know. We're still excited over this whole thing.
Let's see.
A little bubbly, if you will.
Oh, episode 75. EA, please give us $250 million. Do you like it?
Yeah. Please. Wait, EA? Sony.
Did I say EA? I meant Sony. Sorry.
Yeah, I was like, wait, EA?
Sony. I'm sorry. He said 76, talking about being crap. I thought a crap game, so I went to EA. I mean, it suffers from the same thing. New Star Trek movies, like as a Star Trek movies, they're not incredibly great, but individually as a whole, they're pretty decent action movies. Again, enjoyed those. They're, it's kind of like the new Star Wars as well, where it's like, they're good, There's a weird thing that happens when you take a project and you start letting too many people get their fingers in it.
Yeah.
You know, the story becomes disconnected, things fall apart. You know, the reason why the original trilogy and even the prequels, I know not everybody agrees with the prequels, but even the prequels worked so well is because they were done by one man. You know, rather than having several people's ideas in there, you had one person's idea in there.
Right.
You want to hide that in the background so it's not. Oh,
no.
That works.
That does work. All right.
All right.
So
and
boop, and then guess what? You're gonna see our ugly mugs and
hey,
boom.
there we go. There's our faces. And
There
me with the fucking poofy lion mane today. Look at that. Look at that hair.
Speaking of lion mane,
I gotta get that.
Jericho was on point today, even though I felt like
yeah.
I felt like he half-assed it though. But
You didn't actually watch the match. It was a good match.
Yeah.
And since you just joined in, we are still doing mugs, even though they're in plastic cups. We picked up coffee somewhere. Yeah. The cohesive of a single form team on something is important. I 100% agree. And I feel like a lot of projects suffer from that. It's kind of like when they announced that the Arrowverse was going to like start spreading out. I was like, oh, how many people are going to be running the Arrowverse? That's kind of concerning me.
Because of the hands, too many hands in the pot.
Yeah.
What were last week's movie again? There was
Big Trouble in Little China and Showdown in Little Tokyo. I cannot believe you. And I have told my mother, I told Lauren's dad, he's getting up and running away. He fell asleep during Big Trouble in Little China. This motherfucker fell asleep during Big Trouble in Little China.
Now hold on.
To what?
Your seat.
Sit down in front of the mic.
Yeah, okay. Now, I work late nights.
Yes.
I work hella late nights.
Yes.
As soon as I get home, I'm like, I need to get to bed so that way I can wake up for this.
Yes.
I do my damnedest.
Yes.
If I happen to draw out, I'm old. I am
Not
old as hell.
that old.
I am very old.
You're not even that much older than me, and I made it through both.
You live off of coffee.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm gonna make a pot after finishing this.
We pretty much are. But man, Dutch Bros is really good.
You liked it?
Yeah, I'm
Good.
still gonna go. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, see, look at that. I blew it up.
You're not even much older than me, though. Sad face.
I'm not, but at the same time, I just got off work. It was a bad night. Yeah, I gotta deal with all
Total
these
excuses. All
All
right. What did you think of Big Trouble in Little China?
I loved it, and from, of course, the little bit that I snored through.
He barely missed any, honestly.
He looked over at me and he slapped me in the back of the leg, almost caused my leg to cramp. And I was like, okay, I'm up. But John Carpenter knows how to do bits and pieces here and there, you know?
Yeah, he gets a lot of credit for this movie, and he's the director. He did amazing, but something he likes to point out is it's not his movie. He did direct it, but he didn't write it and stuff like that. It's not his.
Yeah.
However, something we found out during this, this movie is a huge influence and one of the main influences behind a lot of the Mortal Kombat characters.
Yeah, you got Raiden, Johnny Cage.
Yeah, Raiden's based off of the Three Storms.
Liu Kang, and Shao Kahn.
Yeah.
Or no, next one, Shao Kahn.
Well, no, that's the funny thing. The guy that plays, you're thinking the guy that plays Shang Tsung is in the Showdown in Little Tokyo.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Ugh. Even still, that scene, the little,
the one that is the meme, the guy exploding.
Yeah, I don't.
It's my favorite part of the movie.
It's a good part of the movie. So 7.3 out of 10 on IMDb, 77 on Rotten Tomatoes, 4.8 out of 5 on Shout Factory, and 94. This is probably one of the highest Google users.
Yeah.
But I'll probably stick around the Rotten Tomatoes. It was a very, very good and fun movie. I would probably watch it again.
Yeah.
It's just, I would have to be in a very particular mood to watch it again.
Yeah, this movie's up in the like 80%, 90% for me. One of my favorite authors, Jim Butcher, writes the Dresden Files, says that this is one of those movies he puts on in the background when he's working on something. He just needs noise, something that he loves but won't pull him in too much because he's seen it so many times. That's this movie.
Oh.
And I totally get that because it's one that I've seen so many times.
I feel like
I'd love to have it kind of just on while I'm doing something.
I feel like there's like one of those scenes that he just continues to like glance over and just keep watching.
Yeah, it's the explosion scene.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah,
probably.
Whoever worked on that went a little over the top, but I'm not mad at it.
It's so great.
Oh, the electricity scenes where all the electricity was like coursing through, and I was just like, that doesn't look bad, especially for what, 89?
It was right down there.
86. This is before Labyrinth and that lightning.
Big issue back then, and still today, though. You get directors coming in and they have their vision, and that's just, yeah, but we're going to do this. You're right, and that's one of those things where it's like, if I wrote something, I'm not saying I'm a director, I'm not saying I'm a writer, but I would kind of want a certain level of control on my things.
Best one of that, Jessica Jones, season 2.
I didn't like season 2.
I know.
Oh, that's what you're saying.
That's what I'm
it's
saying.
so terrible. Yeah, I was like, season 2 sucked. I thought you were standing up for season 2. But I was like, wait a minute.
No. I like Jessica Jones as a character. Season 1 was great. It drew me in. It made me feel for her. It made me go, she's an alcoholic, but at the same time, you know, she has a reason behind it. She's super just mentally screwed. She's having a hard time coping with things.
You're fine. Keep going. Ignore me.
I hear voices in my head. But at the same time, then season 2 starts, and it's just like, all that's just get that out of here. She's just a drunk.
All I was gonna do is bring up the fact that do you know who she had a crush on in the comics?
Luke Cage.
No, before that, they get married and they have a kid in the comics.
Yeah, I know.
She actually went to high school and had a crush on Peter Parker. I was gonna grab some Spider-Man type thing, but I realized if I did that, I'd knock down a bunch of shit.
Really?
So,
I didn't know that.
She had a crush on Peter Parker in the comics.
Oh,
yeah,
that's actually kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And like Peter, not like Spider Bite Peter, but she liked Peter. So, but this doesn't suffer from that, having a different director versus a different writer. This ended up coming out great. And it was a flop.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It kind of didn't do well in the box office, only making a good 11 out of the 25 budget.
Which is interesting because when Carpenter went to Kurt Russell about it, he had actually had several flops in a row. And he kind of was like blaming himself almost, and was like told Carpenter, he's like, I don't want to have another flop. And Carpenter goes, I'm not worried about that. I just want to work with you. And that's why they went through and made the movie.
Kurt was just down for that.
Yeah.
I mean, Kurt seems like he's very humble as far as an actor, considering when he was brought in to do Ego, I heard that there was like a little bit of, back and forth trying to figure out if he's going to do a good Ego, and he's just like, I'll do the best I can, he seems like one of those that's, I'll do what I can, and if it looks good by you, then that looks good by me.
Have you seen Death Proof?
Bits and pieces.
Okay, that's another one of them. It's good. Eventually, I had to fight myself to not have us do certain movies tonight for movie night, because I was like, oh, we still need to do Escape from LA, Escape from New York. Wait, that's Kurt Russell again, and it's Carpenter again.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad at that.
And then I was like, well, there's the Poseidon Adventure. Oh wait, that's Kurt Russell again. And so I had to like kind of dial myself back. I'm like, we're gonna do those later. Well, see, that's just how you got to do. If you find someone that you click with and want to work with, just do it. Yeah, you see it with a lot of directors where they get those certain people that they like to really work with. Look at Harrison Ford and George Lucas, Indiana Jones and Star Wars. And then you got Scorsese's got his whole crew. Tarantino's got his crew. Sandler, he has the actors he always works with.
Sandler refuses to let his crew go. They are bound by contract.
I love it when they were doing, I think, Grown Ups 1. Chris Rock talks about the fact that he gets like a message or something like that from Sandler, and he goes outside to check because he was like told to check outside, and there's a brand new car sitting in his driveway.
Aww.
It was like a thank you gift for doing a movie with him, and he's like, that's just what it's like working with him. It's just like, thank you, I appreciate it, thank you.
Okay,
so
all right.
But yeah, so you're sticking at like the 77.
I'll go a little higher. I'll go about 85. 80? We'll go 85. Just because it was very interesting. The story was very confusing at the beginning, just because it was like...
Because it hits you, and then it doesn't give you a second to breathe. Like
it does, and then it's like, but what is your main goal, Mr. Lopan? What are you trying to gain out of this? And then all of a sudden it finally goes, oh, this is your plan. Mm-hmm. A little bit of...
What I liked about it is you're kind of put in the shoes of these characters, though, and you're kind of put in the place of like... For some reason, whenever you have something big that goes down in a movie, it's like, well, we'll sit here and listen to this guy monologue and figure out all the problems. Or luckily, we happen to have all this research from the last 20 years and we know exactly what he's going to do. This was, shit's going down. They kidnapped your girl. Let's go. know?
It's basically...
Double Dragon. Yeah.
Or River
Streets
City
of Rage.
Streets of Rage. River City Ransom more so.
Okay.
If we're going to beat them up, River City Ransom.
I like Double Dragon because they just walk up, clunk her on the head, they grab her, and they walk out.
Same thing for River City Ransom. Two dudes just walk out after their girls were waiting outside of a convenience store. Bop bop, dun 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 dun.
I love that every game like that, including like regular fighter games, not just like the beat 'em up side scrollers. There's always the they just gotta stand there and like bounce, like almost like they're like bouncer, like not bouncers, boxers.
Yeah, the idol, the nice.
No build up, just beat you over the head with a story. I'm similar with my stories.
As someone who's played in one of his campaigns, yes, he does not like to mince words.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he hits hard, hits fast.
Do you think he would hate my character, Potness?
I think he might actually like it.
So I play a warlock in my current campaign, who's got a 20 in charisma, and then is proficient in persuasion. And so I have talked her way out of several battles, including befriending what was originally supposed to be a big bad, who now is kind of in love with me and helps us out. Yeah.
I forgot about that part.
I'm also the only character that doesn't try to get laid, and I'm the one that has the ability to do it because I've got the high persuasion and high charisma. Yeah.
And then you said you got in trouble for the first
The
time.
one time I tried to do it, everyone was pissed off because it started a bar brawl. So I was like, you know what? Okay.
Fine.
I lived the life of
celibate
celibacy.
now.
But so Big Trouble in Little China was fun. The next one I had only like seen parts of. I hadn't really seen. That's Showdown in Little Tokyo. Brandon Lee, who I love, he's great as the Crow.
And one of my favorite actors,
Dolph Lundgren.
The
first Punisher.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Even though we don't really know that he's the Punisher until you see the little logo
Yeah.
on the knife hilt.
It's not a bad movie.
Do you think he still owns that knife? I hope he does.
I hope he does. He seems like he would.
I hope they let him keep the knife.
But I'm not gonna let her sugarcoat it. This was camp.
Yeah,
but it was good camp. It
was also camp. What's funny is it's 91, but it was very much like one of those movies where it's like it's 80s action. Let's put tits in every scene.
Yeah, tits, drugs, killing, blood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't bother me.
It didn't bother me either. It was just some of it got a little over the top, but
I did like the concept that you've got Brandon Lee's character who actually has like Asian blood in him and doesn't know anything about his culture versus Dolph, who's supposed to be the American who knows all of this stuff and even speaks the language. It was kind of an interesting thing to see, like the characters reversed on who's lost during all this.
Oh yeah, because then you have the idea of I'm an American, but I was born in Japan. I was a military brat, and then all of a sudden he comes back and has to deal with the same shit that he dealt with, and then you kind of get a leeway of I'm having a hard time coping with this.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that's fine and fair, but then it started doing all the heavy campy fight scenes from point to point, and I was like,
I mean, there's a point where they stick a bad guy to a spinning firework thing for a parade, and for some reason it burns him completely down to nothing and like explodes. It's like it was a parade spinning firework thing. It should never have had that power. It was great.
It's camp. But
it's great for what it was.
It was great for what it was.
But you want to talk flops.
Yeah, you want to talk flops? Okay, so here's the funny thing. It didn't have a big budget at all. It only had a budget of $8 million, and it only earned 2.3. That is remarkably bad. But at the same time, I was like, Dolph, I need to figure out if Dolph considers this a flop by his standards.
I mean, he probably looks at it as the one time he got to work with Brandon Lee before he passed.
Yeah.
Like that would be like the big takeaway there. But then you've got Tia Carrera? She's in Wayne's World. She's Wayne's girlfriend.
That's right.
And then the one you clicked on, Carrie, I don't even know how to say that part.
Hiroyuki Tagawa.
Thank you. You're better with that than I am. What we know him best for is he, like we were talking before, plays Shang Tsung in the Mortal Kombat movie, which is my favorite meme on the internet, where it's me leaving 7-Eleven, the crackhead outside of 7-Eleven, your soul is mine.
Oh yeah, some of the greatest stories that really throw you into a deep end is where the story subverts what should be to what can be. Yeah. And that's the interesting thing that you usually take, and I do appreciate as you as a D&D writer, is that you always have that little open door of, I could do it, I'm gonna do it, but it makes you think if I'm gonna do something similar, nah, I'll usually go around that area and substitute anything and say, it could happen. Because I'm just gonna go on a little tangent. One of the funny things that we've done in one of his was we changed a magma hydra, a really hard creature, especially for lower ends. We turned it into I forget the first one, but we turned it into a small creature, polymorphed it, ran through it, saved the grung that were in trouble, ran back past it as it changed back, and we said, we'll deal with that shit later. Next session, it's coming down the magma stream, fucks up one of our dudes, we change it again, we'll deal with that shit later. He brings it back again. But it's just the fact of the matter that, the continuity of, it could be, if you guys are dealing with some magma shit, it'll be there. Yeah. Maybe. You don't know.
I feel like I've pissed my DM off a couple times because, like I said, I talked my way out of several battles, including getting one of our first true big bad to become a best friend / wanted lover.
But that's the thing that you can do.
Which is fine, yeah. But then on top of that, he built an entire warehouse, mapped it all out, traps and all, and he forgot about one ability one of us had, and we all basically, not even knowing there were traps in there, climbed on top of the shelves and walked past all the traps.
Was that the one that I was a part of?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. That was Jordy climbing up on them, and yep. I was just like, well, I'm just gonna go and talk to him because I don't know these people.
Mm-hmm. That was another case of me talking to someone else. Oh, thanks. But did he tell you about how he nat 20s his own boss monster? No, what happened?
Okay, so day before yesterday, I ran a pickup game for these guys just because I had time, and I was just like, screw it, whatever. So it was a factory that was getting overrun by a character they ran into prior that had changed into a cleric beast-looking individual, and they had to basically hold out. Mm-hmm. They were trying to defend one person who was an ex-illithid because he's no longer eating brains, but he does look like an illithid, so it's weird. But even still, they had to protect him and make it through the night and defeat the one major creature, not all the zombies that I had about, just the one major creature.
Okay.
That was pretty much the end goal. But I said, well, my one character is a high level, but has very low HP. It's low double digits, like 22. And so I said, well, I'll treat him like the glass cannon he is. I'll have him do Touch of Death. Fuck. Rolled a nat 20. And I was just like, how much damage is that? Oh, that's 20d10. Oh, no. I just started rolling the 10s, and I was just like, oh, no.
We kind of went through something similar where we were fighting an undead beholder, and it vaporized one of our teammates. And the DM was like, I wasn't planning on killing anyone today, but it happened.
Roll a new character.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what she did. Although, what's funny is that character I technically killed first because the one time we had a skirmish in our group was because of a cursed deck of many things, and she was getting ready to pull a card from it, and so I went up to tackle her. My roll didn't match with her roll, and so she face plants me to the ground, and I yelled Hellish Rebuke, and I rolled Hellish Rebuke, and I fucking one-shotted her. Yeah, I one-shotted my own teammate with Hellish Rebuke.
Hooray for packed slots that use it at the highest level.
Leave me alone. I fuck shit up. But where do you put Showdown and
okay. For some odd reason, I like Showdown. I loved it a lot. It actually got me to watch the whole entire thing without drawing out. I love Dolph.
I love Dolph too. So did you know he's in Creed 2? He comes back as Drago again.
Really?
Drago. Whatever. Comes back.
Dragon.
He comes back as him.
Dragon.
To coach someone else.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
It's good to I love continuity. You add continuity to anything, it makes me automatically happy.
So when are we gonna see Mr. T again then?
Well,
be the fool.
I'm pity for who didn't eat my cereal.
The Target starts playing.
But the fact that Hiroyuki Tagawa is still alive, kicking, I'm hoping he's gonna do something. Like he wasn't.
It was a really weird transition.
He was in Man in the High Castle.
I haven't watched it.
I've only watched most of the first season, and I love it.
Yeah.
I just need to keep going with it because it's on its 4th season now, so I need to definitely dig back into it. Speaking of 4 seasons, we can slide right into the news with a 4th season.
Well, you still have to tell me what you think of it. You haven't given it a rating yet.
Oh, I thought I did. I'm sorry. I would say it's about par with Big Trouble.
Okay.
The only downside is I'd probably put it 1 notch below. I would watch both in succession again because they both match pretty well. It's just I would put if it went over the other, Showdown's just below. So
Gotcha.
I'd say maybe 82.
Okay. Showdown's definitely beneath Big Trouble for me.
Far down or
I'll do this. I'll put Big Trouble in the 90s. I'll put Showdown in the low 80s.
okay.
So
That's unfair.
I would still watch them both again. And we actually digitally own Showdown now.
Oh, that's right. You bought it because it's the same price.
The same price to rent it as to buy it. We didn't buy Big Trouble because I want to go and get the Blu-ray that came out. So I just had to actually make a trip to the store and get that. So we just rented that one for now.
I'm sure Zeal will have it sometime.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
So what you said you want to transition into 4 seasons of...
4 seasons of...
Oh, so you're talking about Netflix being back to what Netflix does best.
Bam!
Canceling shows!
Canceling a great show. I watched a couple episodes and I was interested. It's just I canceled Netflix because as soon as I was done with Punisher, I watched a couple of this and then it ended shortly after that. Mm-hmm. I was over it. I liked it. I was just over it.
They still have a lot I like on Netflix, and that's the only reason I've kept it. As long as they keep coming up with something to keep me there, they've got my subscription. I just binge watched most of The Floor is Lava. Feet off the ground. Just binge watched most of The Floor is Lava. It's a game show type of thing. You're good. It's a game show type of thing. It's an obstacle course. You have to find things you can move and throw around or undo, and rope ladders fall and stuff like that. And it's supposed to be that you're in a mansion and there's lava and you have to get across. It's red water that's bubbling and geysers up at you. You're on a team.
That's cute.
It's a lot of fun. And me and Lauren are sitting there going, "Can we do this? Would we be able to handle this, or would we get our asses kicked and lose?"
Lauren might be fine. She just needs to stretch more at you.
Fuck off. I'm watching people do the monkey bars though on this because they got monkey bars. And I'm like, y'all don't know how to monkey bar.
Yeah, no, you gotta see. We learned when we were young where you gotta have the momentum. You gotta.
Granted, monkey bars is how I broke my arm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You went
or I
did it just
jumped and I went 1, 2, and on the third one I just missed and I had already started to let go on my right, and so I fell right on my arm. Fractured it right behind the elbow.
Delicious.
Had to be in a full arm cast.
Oh. But even still.
Yeah, so Netflix is doing what they do best. They're canceling shows. So they just canceled Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Everyone's saying that this is probably the best time for them to do it because it ended on a relatively high note. I haven't seen part 4, so I can't speak on that. But it kind of... I'm wondering if maybe it's one of those things where it's can it be saved? Because there was talks that this is connected to Riverdale and all that. CW is ending a bunch of shows. Would they want to save it? Could they save it? I don't know. Would the actors even want to come back?
I mean, yeah. If they're already saying cancel, and that, I think some actors and actresses are slowly getting alienated. To
this I don't think is updating because it looks like there's different stuff in the other chat.
No.
Okay.
Hang on, I'll move it over. Oh,
I'm sorry to the listeners. I'm trying to make sure we're doing the. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just making sure. I don't want to ignore the audience on live.
That's fine. But as far as when a show gets quote unquote canceled, but then it gets picked up or something, some of the actors or actresses are like, if they're canceling it, that's not good for us. That's not going to make us look good.
Yeah. So
what we're going to do is we're just not going to show up. We're not going to do that.
There's contracts and stuff too. The reason why Pierce Brosnan didn't take over as Bond as soon. You can't ignore us. We wouldn't let you. Good point. like the reason why Pierce Brosnan wasn't Bond sooner is because the last day of the Remington Steele contracts ending, the show was picked up by another studio. So they ran 2 more movies with Dalton, I think. And then Remington Steele was canceled again and actually ended that time. And that's when Brosnan came over as Bond.
Oh.
So.
I mean, to be fair, the early Bonds were some of the best, but it had the biggest, like, waves made as far as how they were handled.
Are you talking when Brosnan came in?
Just before Brosnan.
Okay.
Like, the time intermittence between... Well, who was the one who only did one?
Lazenby.
Thank you. Between Lazenby...
That's because he didn't want to come back, though, for the most part.
That's fine and fair, but between Lazenby and Brosnan.
Okay, so, actually... So that's the weird thing, because what happened is it was Lazenby, and Lazenby didn't come back, so they went back to Connery.
Yes.
And then they switched to Roger Moore.
Yeah.
Moore went a really long time, and then they switched to Dalton. And then they were going to get rid of Dalton and go Brosnan. They couldn't bring Brosnan in because Remington Steele got renewed by another TV channel. So they did like 2 more Dalton movies. Then they brought Brosnan in, did 4 movies, took a break, came back with Daniel Craig.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if they're even still, if they do a full cast replacement, I wouldn't be mad.
Mm-hmm.
I do enjoy the cat. When the 4 episodes I believe I saw of The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina were really nice. But as far as
I miss Salem's smartass mouth. Cross says we'll see. Netflix has this whole thing about binging. Essentially, everything should have an ending per season. I mean, they even rushed a few episodes out just to get an ending. Yeah, you're right, and I've seen that formula. I was big into Fuller House for a while. Being a fan of Full House, there was like I really had the nostalgia factor, but it did feel like every season was like, we don't know, so we're just gonna play it safe, and it's like there was no good cliffhanger. I think there was one season where they did a good cliffhanger.
Okay, you're right, but with yours, mine got kind of screwed as well. Mine was Roseanne.
The Connors got brought back though.
The Connors got brought back, but it wasn't the same.
That's because she
I know.
said shit she shouldn't have said. That wasn't the studio.
But I'm talking even Aftermath. Like, all the characters just didn't feel the same.
Gotcha.
The writing didn't feel as authentic as when Roseanne Barr was still
Gotcha. So you're saying like there was a dynamic that was lost there. I gotcha.
Yeah.
I
have an idea.
There you go. But yeah, we'll see what I don't know if it can be purchased. I don't know if Netflix will even let anyone.
It's owned by Warner Brothers, right?
No, it's technically Archie Comics. Which is...
But is Batman, right? Batman subsidiary?
No, Archie's on its own.
Oh, then disregard.
They just do a lot of crossovers with DC.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, they've also done crossovers with Predator, so...
Oh.
But this isn't our only Archie news tonight, either.
It isn't.
Yeah.
There we go.
So, Spotify and Archie Comics are getting together to do a podcast. And I like... Because I've listened to a couple of things like this. Like there's the Stitcher and Marvel got together to do a Wolverine one that is really good. It's fully voice acted, sound effects, everything. Great story. Darker. They didn't like go, we have to be kid friendly. No, you're hearing about fucking people being blown up. People being sliced up, all kinds of stuff. There's a crazy ass cult in the first season of the Wolverine one.
A couple cons ago that we went to, there was the Archie Meets the Punisher, where the Punisher becomes the chaperone for Archie, and I was like, oh man, it was $35 fucking. I was like, I'm not gonna spend $35 on it, but I was thinking about it quite heavily. Apparently, it's not worth just $35; it's about like 75-ish, and I was like, I could have made some like wholesome cash because I wasn't gonna resell it, but it was like wholesome cash.
Yeah. Knowing that you own something that's worth more.
Yeah. That feels a little bit better. Like,
you a Betty or a Veronica kind of guy?
Huh?
You a Betty or Veronica kind of guy?
I've never read an Archie comic.
Okay, I like Jughead personally.
Oh yeah, what that burger do?
Okay, so Cross says, I mean, the good news is I've seen companies recently really dip into cooperative and selling shows back and forth. Companies coming to save shows that are popular to user demand. Yeah, so really the idea, I agree with you. I've seen a lot of companies doing it too. It's going to come down to if another company sees money in it, what the contracts are like for the actors, and I think the final thing is going to be whether or not Netflix actually wants to sell.
God, the longer this lingers, the better it tastes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'll have to try it next time.
I love... Okay, Blue Raspberry, real quick. What is your take on Blue Raspberry?
It's one of the greatest fake flavors ever invented.
That's right!
Because, I mean, if you think about other fake flavors, you've got grape, which is great, but that's not what grapes
That's
taste
not
like.
what but I like it too.
I kind of have an argument. The nasty-ass banana Laffy Taffies?
Okay,
They're based off an actual banana, but the banana went extinct.
Okay, you and I have a different opinion on those.
You like them.
I don't mind. I would eat them.
Lauren likes them too. I think it's something in your family.
It is our family.
I think they're nasty.
Ree bought an entire pound of them.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Wasn't a big fan of the banana runts either. Maybe it's me and banana-flavored candies.
I mean, there's a lot of people... Banana Laffy Taffy.
Yep.
See, Goon
says it's great. Or awesome.
But even still...
Yeah, Blue Raspberry is great. It's the best Jolly Rancher.
So, yeah, I mean, Blue Raspberry, lime, it goes together very well. It's two mildly tangy flavors, making it good on top of green tea.
Yeah, Blue Raspberry lemonade sounds good.
And the green tea isn't really in the background of it.
You know what I really liked? What I really got into was prickly pear. I really liked prickly pear things. And when they did the spiked Mountain Dews, those were great. And then they discontinued them.
Because people were getting sick.
The next time... Is that why? I was drinking those things like crazy and I never got sick.
A few people were starting to get like that stomach acid buildup, and it just whoop.
Yeah,
and
I was fine. I was drinking those things like they're going out of style. The best fake flavor is watermelon. Watermelon is pretty good. That's Lauren's.
That's Lauren's. What was it? The 7-Eleven watermelon tea thing? Yeah, that's really good.
But what I was gonna say is when it comes to prickly pear, Disney at California Adventure in Cars Land has a paradise drink.
You showed me it, and I was like, I'm not paying no goddamn $8.50 for it, but I would get the full experience.
It's good.
Yeah, it looked like it was good, but I wasn't gonna mess.
The last trip we went on, Lauren got a stupid photo of me trying to drink one. I've got the cup up like this for the viewers. I've got the cup up, but I'm having a conversation with someone, so I'm kind of like looking, and I can't find the straw, so my tongue's just outside my mouth, just like. I'm just, yeah, I bet you anything that's gonna end up on Instagram if I tell her I mentioned it on the show.
I mean, why not?
But I don't use Spotify.
I do.
I have actually uninstalled Spotify from everything, PC, phone, everything. This, if it's free, I will re-download Spotify to listen to. And you're right. Recently with DC Comics, maybe Archie Comics podcast based on Archie Comics universe that follows a similar. Oh no, wait. Similar deal that they have with DC Comics. Okay, yeah. I was like, I'm pretty sure Archie was on its own. Yeah, that's another thing. Josie and the Pussycats is in the Archie universe.
Yeah, that I know because he dates Josie.
Does he?
I think so. I remember seeing the
he's
cover.
Indecisive. That's all I remember.
He is a man who is of his own element.
Stop paying for Spotify, but I still have it.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, this I think is free.
Any podcast that is on Spotify, such as this one that you're listening to, is free.
Yeah. I'm just not sure with it actually being created by Spotify. That's why I'm like, I don't know if it's maybe Spotify subscribers will get it early or something. I don't know.
I don't see that being if it is that kind of thing, it's like,
well, it's like if you have Stitcher and they do something, normally you can get the entire season of it immediately versus everyone else has to wait for the weekly uploads. Because there's like Stitcher and there's Stitcher Premium.
Okay. I mean, I hope they don't.
Yeah.
Because with our podcast, with all the other podcasts I listen to, it is very strict scheduling and there's no wait times. There's one ad at the very beginning and that's it. I can listen to the whole thing from start to finish. Mm-hmm. They have their own little ads that they make because, they got to make their money too. Yeah. And that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. That's all I listen to. I don't listen to music because I have YouTube music, and that's perfect for me because it has every song that's on YouTube that is classified under music. So I listen to all the meme music that I'm happy with.
I have Apple Music. My brother paid for the family subscription. Plenty of stuff. Lots of stuff. Yeah. Very few things I can't find on there.
Yeah. Free game?
Yeah, if you want to do free game.
Okay, so cool thing from Epic Games. We have two things from Epic Games today. The first thing is Killing Floor 2 is the free game of the week. I like it. I like Killing Floor 2 a lot. Goon and I have put a lot of time in. I'm usually the medic who's saying, "Hey, get to me if you want wrap up." And Goon's usually I think he more leans toward either Commando Berserker. Just because he's like, I gun go pew pew, or slashy, he's always into the fray type of individual. I don't.
You're being called out in the chat.
I know I do. I don't need that. I do have cheated stats. I've prestiged once by doing a little bit of manipulation, I will admit.
Ooh.
I do not. I'm admitting my flaws. All right here. I am being as translucent as possible, as translucent as this cup that I'm going to drink out of.
There's writing on that cup. It's not very translucent.
You can still hear it. But moving on.
Socks just told him to chill.
All right.
I've never played this. It looks like fun. I liked the song and the trailer. I did claim the free one. That was the thanks for your purchase thing you saw. In fact, I think you guys are also seeing my name up there. It's a terrible name I came up with when I thought I was going to stream Let's Plays at one point on YouTube, and I realized I'm a fucking idiot. It was kind of in the, I'll be honest, it was in the PewDiePie craze, and where everyone thought they could be a streamer, and I said, fuck it. I bought Fraps and tried to stream.
Yeah, I mean, you still have the key to Fraps. Fraps is getting better. It is apparently improving, but then again, you have something like OBS over here that we have.
Yeah.
Where you can see everything that's going on. You have you can put little tiny tidbits. Fraps doesn't have that. Fraps is just screen record, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So this, much better, and it uses less CPU. It's using approximately 10% of our CPU, over under.
Okay.
Like, it's doing nothing.
So
Meanwhile,
that's
Fraps,
where the terrible name comes from, though. Pure Struck Hero.
Yeah.
It's also my name on Discord, and see, that's it. I got it on Epic, I got it on Discord, and I might be on PlayStation.
I agree with what Goon said here. Goon said, Killing Floor 2 is a decent time waster, but you will feel there is a lack of developer love. I can concur. Most of the stuff they've taken from the community, such as maps, weapon skins, even the weapons themselves, they've taken from the community.
What has worse developer love? Killing Floor 2 or Payday 2?
Killing Floor 2.
Really?
Because Payday 2 is still getting updates. For PC.
I was gonna say,
I know. You're mad about the console nonsense. But
I'm just saying, like, if you made the update for the PC, how hard is it to translate it over to console?
Some lines of code just have a hard time moving through. Fair enough. Goon just said console Payday 2 doesn't exist. I mean, if you buy the what is it, the exclusive edition, what do they call that one? Even still, you buy that one,
Crime Wave.
You buy it, you get all the DLC, but you're still getting a heavily bugged out game. Is that worth the money?
It's on Game Pass. That's what I did.
I mean, yeah. Goon complained about it when we played it for a very, very, very brief time. I think we maybe did like 3-4 missions.
Same with Siege. Yeah, it says cross.
Siege, I would get back into if they had something more. They just updated House not too long ago. They introduced another 2 operators. Where
I run into issues with probably Killing Floor 2, definitely Payday 2, definitely things like Siege. We are talking Rainbow Six, right?
Yes.
Okay. I like story. I like co-op, but I like story. And sometimes I feel like it's, if we put up some maps and make some creative characters, we don't need a story. I mean, I don't know for sure about Killing Floor 2.
No. With Killing Floor 2, as I said, they pulled mostly from the community, and I'm not gonna, like, it's not a bugged game. They keep adding things. It's just very, very, very slow. They do regular updates as far as patching, major bugs.
Mm-hmm.
They did have microtransactions for a brief bit. I don't know if I think they still do with their crates for their cosmetics. It is completely cosmetic. There are some weapons that you need to purchase in order to actually utilize in game, but they're niche to say the least. But I feel like Killing Floor 2 is a much better game than Payday 2, and at this point, I'll say it's better than Siege. So, yeah, paying $10 for that one shark gun, and there was another one that was available for it. Is the DLCs in here? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But even still, I concur. It was 2 very interesting looking guns, and then now there's another 2 more for I think another $10, which is like a medic gun that looks interesting. And then a Gatling gun?
Right, I know that they got to make their money, but I've never agreed with selling game-altering things like that. Cosmetics, I'm fine with.
Yeah.
If it comes down to, I know this isn't a player versus player, but if it comes down to another player is going to do better than me because they had a bigger wallet, I don't agree with that. Never have.
Well, it's all co-op, so...
Yeah, so it doesn't matter in this, but like definitely things like... What was it? Battlefront did that for a bit, I think?
Yeah, Battlefront.
Yeah,
Battlefront 2, definitely.
But what the other thing Goon said was that he gets the story, like he likes Killing Floor 2 story-wise because he's played a lot of Dark Souls and he's used to them not telling you the story. And that's fine. Like, you understanding the story because you pay attention to things, read things like that. That's good. But ultimately, when it comes down to certain things, like, I fucking hate Fortnite. I don't like PUBG. I don't like Apex, all that stuff. I don't like the Battle Royale games, and I don't like the concept of, we're going to build a map, and we're just going to drop you in it, and you're going to give us money.
Yeah.
Like, yes, there's lore, and there's videos I can go watch and stuff like that, but I just don't really...
Now, I will
it just doesn't... It doesn't draw me in.
That's not fair.
As having a campaign.
Now, hold on. I will play a little bit of the devil's advocate. I'll back it up a little bit. I'll basically say, hold on. There is one game that you mentioned that has actual story, even though it's got no plausibility in game. They'll talk to each other because it allows it to, and that's Apex Legends. There are the characters between them. They'll have a conversation. Like Watson will say, "Oh man, there's this whole entire area is really full of this wildlife. I hope we can preserve it." And then you got the I don't remember his name, but the guy that is mostly metal and kind of broody. He basically goes, "Oh no, this whole place has got to burn just like the rest of them." And then they have a conversation and talk about how the one guy is just angry and doesn't want to deal with that one major issue because of how he was spited. And Watson's like, but nature though.
Yeah.
And you get a feel for him. I mean,
but why not let me play that?
Yeah. I mean, well, technically they said that you might be able to run into a couple of those characters with the next one of their releases. Hopefully it's another Titanfall that introduces these characters, because considering it is Titanfall, but Battle Royale, it uses the assets.
Yeah.
Let's get with the chat real quick.
They're now discussing paying for guns versus, a bunch of the JRPGs that do like 80 different DLCs, $5 each, having like one outfit.
And also what Sock said of hiding in the bathroom at the edge of a circle. It's fucking the best thing in the world. You get so much adrenaline just hiding in a bathroom, waiting for the circle to move in, and then you gotta move.
Yeah.
It's great. Best gameplay. 10 out of 10.
The other thing I can say when it comes to like another example, Call of Duty, I never bought it because I wanted to play online. Eventually, that's what I would do because I would beat the campaign and be like, all right, let me go play online with my friends. But the reality is I bought Call of Duty because I want to play the campaigns. I enjoyed the campaigns, and I know I'm weird for that.
I mean...
But after a while of like, oh, there's this new Call of Duty game, and it's $60 because we gave you the same online thing. We just did different maps. Okay. Why am I paying for this? And then it became eventually, oh, we took everything you loved about this game, threw it out the fucking door, give us money. And that all just started to get kind of crazy.
I will argue against that. Black Ops 2.
I think Modern Warfare 2 had the last good campaign. Yeah, I love Black Ops 2. I did not like Black Ops 3 once the game started going super futuristic, that's where I died out. I haven't bought a Call of Duty game since Black Ops 3.
Yeah, I played one match of Warzone on a friend's Xbox One. Holy shit! I was putting bullets into a dude, and I just felt like I was like, is he going down?
Yeah,
it felt really weird to me, but
the
gunplay felt good. I will admit that it felt pretty nice to shoot those guns. But yeah, no, it's too much for an old man like me.
The other thing the chat's talking about now is it's hard talking about DLCs and microtransactions because honestly, when I see them, I just think, meh, I've paid for worse, sadly. So they don't bother me so much.
League of Legends.
My general rule for a DLC is the price has to be worth what I'm getting.
So I'm just going to leave. You go ahead.
Yeah, because League of Legends was brought in. My other thing is DLC should never continue the story. They should always be side things. So, for instance,
I will counter argue that.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
So, for instance, DLCs for Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4 are pretty fun DLCs, and for the most part, they're side things. The one time that it isn't true is Fallout 3 because they had a shit fucking ending. And they had to come back and be like, yeah, we kind of fucked you on that, and this DLC will revive you now. But the other thing would be, recently I did Mortal Kombat Aftermath, which is really fun. I enjoyed it. I didn't hate the money I spent on it, but it 100% continues the story.
That was the argument I was going to make.
So the issue I run into there, while I enjoyed it, I'm a little upset that that was the case. Sell me a whole game. Don't sell me part of the game and then try to get more money. I already spent $60 on the game. Give me the full fucking game. Don't then sit there and nickel and dime me for me to finish the story. I don't like that.
You're correct.
Now, the way the Witcher DLCs work, I love that.
Those are just additions.
Yeah.
They're new areas.
Yeah.
The pit.
I don't care too much for the DLCs on things like Saint Rose 3 because it was like, oh, superpower ship, which is what inspired the crap of 4.
What Cross just said, a DLC is content, an expansion expands the game. So, one major example, Diablo 2. It literally says expansion because it adds a 5th act.
Okay.
It adds an entire new quest subset and gets you over there. But we haven't had anything of the word expansion since, God, a while ago. Like, I guess the word for expansion pack would also mean that it went with, like, The Sims 4, because they call those expansion packs. Yeah. But then again, it's not really a continuation, and I mean, it does expand the game, but then again, it's straight up DLC. You're buying DLC. You're buying costumes. You're buying people, you're buying this, that, the other.
I just like the concept of a DLC that expands sideways, not onward. If that makes sense. Like, I want to expand the world out, yes, but I don't want to continue the story because that's what sequels are for. That's what the game itself was for.
Now, hold on. What if it gives you a full-length, let's say, 25-hour game, and then a DLC for $20 adds another 25 hours?
Yes, but say I buy it, but say I buy, we'll say Diablo 2.
Okay.
Say I bought Diablo 2.
Okay.
And we'll say the Diablo games don't function like Diablo games. We'll say they function like other regular games.
Okay.
So I buy Diablo 2, but I never buy expansions. And then I buy Diablo 3. If Diablo 3 actually continued the story, but continued from where the expansion was, I never got that middle there because I didn't buy a DLC. Because I bought a game and expected it to tell me the story.
Fair. Okay. I now see that. But
Goon's also asking if season passes are a good thing or a bad thing. He personally thinks bad. I say it depends on the season pass. Season passes for something like Fallout where they went, you're going to get at least this much content. I said yes. Season passes for Call of Duty where it's like, we're going to possibly throw a map at you, or especially Battlefront 1. Season pass for Battlefront 1 is a fucking waste of money. That was the dumbest fucking thing ever. They actually had to give you a fucking free map because of how little content that game had.
Yeah. Like, then you look over at the season pass for Forza. You gain an entire area. You gain an entire island that you drive around and find treasure and stuff, and there's races that are meant for that island. I was like, oh, I really should have thought about maybe getting this. I should probably throw some money at Quincey so that we can buy this. And I was like, no, I'll wait it out. But I was like, damn, it was a part of the season pass. It was $50. You get the Fortune's Island and Lego Racer.
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
But I mean, that's a racing game. It's not really continuing the story or anything.
No.
Socks also dropped into the chat. But they even with expansion packs, communities get shittery. Wait, what was that? Shirty? Even if they're free. The joke around the Animal Crossing community is that they asked for old NPCs to be added back in the game, and Nintendo gave them the ability to go jump off a cliff.
I mean, I know it's not hard to put in something that goes, but I don't know. If they want to add the characters, they can add the characters.
Yeah, there's certain things where it's like some people ask for too much, definitely.
Looks over at Sakurai.
But here's one. A community that I felt like this game wasn't ruined by DLCs, but it was definitely ruined by the concept of not selling the full game and having to backtrack or having to change things at certain points. How good you... Goon says that the impression bothers him. The mess that is Kingdom Hearts.
Okay, Okay.
I like Kingdom Hearts, but because they could not decide where the story was at, what they were going to release, DLCs weren't a thing on fucking PlayStation 2. Oh, Goon just yelled at me.
Yeah. Well, I think it was me, but
Oh, okay.
you are correct because it's not just one game that has to explain another game. It is 3 games that has to explain one game. I will admit that. Yeah. But at the same time, do you need it? Not really.
No,
Would
it was Quincy. He's saying stop. I'm not allowed to talk Kingdom Hearts. He's saying no. It was.
I don't have my glasses on, so I couldn't read.
He's bringing up my dark past.
Oh.
What I liked is they
walk away. You don't hear me say, please.
They've fixed this with the Divinity Original Sin does that so well. They've fixed this with these new 2 things that they've released, where it's like, okay, here's everything, and everything we can't port over or don't want to port over. Here it is as a mini movie for you to watch, and you can now get the entire Kingdom Hearts experience. But it was kind of a shit situation.
Yeah,
especially with we're only going to release sequels on a handheld thing. Oh, but they're canon.
Yep.
Chain
of Memories is canon, and I don't like that it is.
I mean, even with like how all over the place Resident Evil started to get. Code Veronica, stuff like that. And then they go through, they make 0, so you have to go back and whatnot. And luckily, for the most part, just follow the numbers, you know.
So, you know that, I don't know.
No, the memories is going to be canon. It's a damn rhythm game.
Yeah. The new Kingdom Hearts?
The new Kingdom Hearts, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I saw it, yeah.
But
I'm not getting it.
I
didn't buy 3. I'm playing it on Game Pass.
Yeah, I don't know. I need to go back through them again.
I'm going through them right now.
Yeah. But no more talking Kingdom Hearts. He's already hurting. Oh yeah, honestly, as a developer, one of the best things you can really do is love your modding community. Oh hell yeah, because Cross is a part of Arma 3, if I'm not mistaken.
So yeah,
he enjoys that.
I actually love some of the things that modders do and some of the community-based things that happen. I think the big one that has upset me is when Bethesda went, we can make money off this. That was definitely a fuck up on their part. But seeing some of the work that people put into their mods, I think people should be allowed to make money off of their mods. Looking at like. The fact that people have completely built and voice acted entire games that they've modded for Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3 and stuff like that. So I definitely like really good mods. I wish modding was more accepted on console. I mean, we've only gotten really Fallout 4 to accept it, and that's because Bethesda saw dollar signs. So, have you seen Kingdom Hearts 2 modding community? It's insane. I imagine it's probably a lot of making Donald actually do his job.
Sorry.
But we've got really off on a tangent there. Do you want to jump into this? Where do we want to go next in the news?
I want to, but what sucks is I can't click and see what the games are without logging in. So we'll do this next week. Okay. But be aware, there will be a link in the description to get Humble Bundle monthly. If you are new to it, guess what? You get 40% off immediately, but you got to click our own link to get the full benefit. I mean, I'm lying, but please. And this time you're getting Age of Wonders Planetfall Deluxe Edition. Mm-hmm. This is an $120 game. That is one choice out of I think you get 6 choices. So you get $120 worth of both game and content as one of your choices. Me and you both played Void Bastards a little bit ago.
It's a fun time waster, harder than you expect. Some of those fucking things just don't want to die.
Yeah. I mean, there's just a lot here. I definitely think people need to pay for their mods, but I definitely think the way Twitch does it and stuff, like, hey, we put a lot of work into this. If you'd like to thank us, here's a linky to us if you're generous. Yes.
Yeah, it was weird seeing Bethesda be a company that had gone from caring so much about the community that they let a man pay for a game with bottle caps. They put another man's dead father and brother into a game to show respect.
I think that's the difference between the COO and literally the PR department. I think they are not communicating.
We went from seeing this company that cared so much and also does things like when Nuka Rush happened, they put a gun named after them in Fallout 4 and let them keep making their show on YouTube. Never asked them for anything, supported them all the way. They've supported several podcasts. There was a podcast that did a countdown to Fallout 4 where they were talking lore, setting up challenges. One of their challenges was kill a Deathclaw with a BB gun in New Vegas. and what did they do? They threw codes at them to give away for free for the Vault game. Like, they really treated them great for a while, and then all of a sudden it was, let's make money off of mods. And while I don't hate 76 like most people do, and Doom's been great, and Wolfenstein's been great, and so it hasn't all completely fallen apart, there's definitely been a weird disconnect and a weird money hungriness all of a sudden. Mm-hmm. A lot of stuff happened in the chat while I was saying that.
It's just basically corporate communication. What? Bethesda will never make players pay for their Dragonborn to wear scale male bikini. You're correct.
Yeah.
And you know what? You know who didn't listen to the PR department? Blizzard. You are correct.
You guys have phones, don't you?
That's one of the three issues of which the PR department did not talk with anyone. But
that still pisses me off, and I don't even play Diablo all that much.
Yeah, no, I was talking more about the Hearthstone player having the outcry for China.
That bullshit. Yeah, that was crap.
That was the major one.
Yeah, they should have fucking let him keep his winnings and whatnot.
But speaking of outcries, we have the Be the Change Humble Book Bundle. I looked into it. I think this is where I saw the Archie.
Archie,
and,
right there.
Literally talking about. There it is.
Poor Archie. Okay, yeah, I didn't know they did.
But even so, there's Black Dynamite in here. There's just a lot of Archie in a change bundle. But I mean, I'm not mad at it.
The reality is Archie's always kind of been a comic about being a kid in this world. It's just, and I think that's the reason why Archie's sold. I mean, they're like 2 million books or some shit, and they've always been around. Is that Archie adapts with the times very well?
Yeah. So something cross-eyed. No, see, you get people in a certain position that think they know better than everyone about it,
mm-hmm.
and that they can deal with themselves without putting it up in a tree.
Up the tree.
Up the tree. In the tree. Around the tree. The tree.
Speaking of trees, Squirrel Girl is coming to Marvel Strike Force. Then I just figured I'd throw that in there.
And then things collapse, and then everyone's looking around like, was it me?
Yeah.
You are correct.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with that whole outcry for China thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was just the worst flavor debacle. Now, am I saying the Blizzard was wrong in what they did? No, because it is in the contract that the player signed, zero political, geographical changes. Yeah. You're here to play a game, not talk about politics. So I will say, okay, he broke a rule, but as harsh as it was, that was rude.
He broke a rule, but it was for good reasons, and they should have let it happen. They should have turned a blind eye. And in the case of Bethesda, I feel like they should give Pete Hines more power, because he's kind of the one that's out there saying things and being in things because he's the PR guy, and he fucking kills it. Another thing is there's a podcast I talked a little bit about, I think last episode. It's a Fallout 76 podcast called Chad, where it's basically dealing with that guy that kills you and teabags you in Fallout 76. But the idea is if someone that is an actual Vault dweller dealing with this guy that he had to grow up with and is now dealing in the world of Fallout 76. They were actually invited to the last con that Bethesda did and did a live episode, and Pete Hines did it and has now actually voiced his character on an episode of their podcast and shit like that.
Yeah.
So,
but even still, for the $20 mark, you get everything that I've scrolled through. Like, this is a lot of content, books.
For anyone that's confused, he pulled it back to the Humble Bundle there. Because there's, you gotta remember, audio, there's certain people who are only listening, not watching.
Right. And it supports 3 charities. The Bail Project, which we've talked about before, where it helps people who are innocently
wrongfully
imprisoned.
Yeah.
The Carl Brennan Society is one of the new ones, but it helps against, again, racial and ethnic diversity and just making sure that things help out in everywhere. Mm-hmm. It's not going to say, one race is better than another. No, it's helping all race just to make sure that, it doesn't matter as far as. And then the last one is the National Urban League, which
I feel like I've heard about this one.
This one is one of the major ones because it's celebrating its 110th year of service. This one is one of the older ones.
Yeah, I felt like I'd heard about it, but I'm not gonna tell you what they are because I don't know.
This one's just basically empower African Americans, etc., etc. Hey, thanks for the bits. Right on. Cross just donated a good 500. Right on. And so with these 3 charities, it was pretty much a a strong subset, and I'm hoping that these charities do good with all the money that they receive, because I believe this one is a 100% goes to charity. Doesn't say, so I'm gonna say maybe not. Maybe some of it goes to the writers of these.
Now, no matter how much goes to the charity, it's good. I can't speak on most of these books. I haven't read them. In fact, I have not read the Archie ones in here. I can say that I like a lot of what they do with the Archie comics, and I say go give it a shot. It's always good to have reading material anyways.
Yeah.
So
I mean, comics are always good.
Yes.
Unless they're weird, racist, Nazi ones. Then they're bad.
Yes.
And
weird occulty ones, too. There's a few out there.
I mean, if I'm reading it and I'm enjoying it...
No. There was an entire cult that used comics. They were making these comics about, like, it was all about fishing and hooking. And basically the women that were in the cult were used to whore themselves out to bring men in. And they explained it through comics. It was this whole crazy fucking thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm talking my kind of cults where it's the eyes are closed, but you're still seeing kind of shit.
Oh, the Never-Ending Abyss.
Yes. And the other one is something that I think you might like. For $1, one whole dollar, would you like the Batman Telltale Part 2?
You know, I haven't played Part 2 yet.
Well, bam.
But based off of Part 1, I'm going to say yes. I own it.
I know.
To be fair, I do own it.
But I'm just saying, for $1, you get Part 2 of the Batman Telltale.
Yeah, you also get Walking Dead Part 1, which was good. Walking Dead 400 Days, which was all right. And Oxenfree, which I haven't finished, but I am enjoying.
Okay. And then, boom, 765, you get one of my favorite Telltale games, The Wolf Among Us, Part 1. Now that they're back, I'm hoping they keep production up on that, but we'll deal with that later. Batman Enemy Within Shadow Mode.
The Shadow Mode looks cool, but is the dumbest thing.
Yeah, I don't like that they're charging more for that.
Yeah, like it's basically a lot of cel shading and making the game black and white with some red, and we're gonna charge you $10 for it.
Yeah. And you get
that's outside of the charity thing. The charity thing here, you're getting it for $7.65, but you're also getting Wolf Among Us. You're getting season 2 of The Walking Dead, and you're getting them shown, which is the only one out of The Walking Dead I didn't experience.
And you also get season 2.
I don't know if you remember, Quincey, but did I not say season 2? I meant season 2 of Walking Dead as well. But I did play and beat Crosscode that you guys mentioned last episode. Okay, yeah. What do you think?
Oh, he put 50 hours into it between that cast of me telling him that he can play it on my thing to today. He beat it. He's done. He's square.
I haven't even installed it yet.
Yeah. So here's the fucky thing. He wanted to show me a couple things. He showed me how the battle system works, which it looks really interesting. It's, elements. If you use one element too much, you get overblown with it, and it becomes a little harder. With each element you choose has different stats, so that way your health goes up or down, defense goes up or down, etc., depending on what element you choose. I was like, that's interesting. And then he showed me, it's got a lot of Easter eggs, a lot of little jokey Easter eggs. If you stand on a bridge in, I believe, one of the major towns, a car going sideways while playing Eurobeat, I fucking loved it. And he's like, yeah, this game is full of this kind of stuff. And I'm like, I love developers that do this kind of shit. Especially when it's just cars just driving by each other, and then all of a sudden you just see...
Now you said Easter eggs and you said cars, and it triggers something in my head. And I've told you about it before, but for the people that are live with us now and the people that may be coming up, there's an interesting thing I recently found out. Apparently for the last 30, 50, whatever years, Jeeps have put an Easter egg on every Jeep. They are all different, and their location is different. So anyone that owns a Jeep, go and look on your car. It could be in the cup holder. It could be on the edge of the tint in the window. It could be anywhere on this vehicle. But somewhere on your Jeep, you have an Easter egg. Some of them are things like Bigfoot. Some of them are things like a bird or a deer or a little Jeep or things like that. So yeah, each Jeep has an Easter egg that's all its own.
Yeah.
For God's sakes, one of the bosses is...
Cephas Law.
I don't know that reference.
Sephiroth. Final Fantasy 7.
Oh, okay. Didn't play it.
Yeah. But
since Goon's here, I'll explain this for him real quick. I played Final Fantasy when it was on the Super Nintendo, and I didn't play it again until Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the one with Noctis.
Yeah.
I have a new recipe.
It goes for the Jeep thing. It goes pretty far back. Like I said, they've been doing it for 50 years or something like that. He's gonna pull it up right now. He's gonna check. Just Jeep Easter egg.
1996.
Okay, so that's 30 years. That's closer to 30 years. I was thinking 50 for some reason. I don't know why I kept going 50. Yeah, so 96 is about far back. There you go. So
Interesting. Over 20 years.
Yeah.
But back over to this. Boom, for $15. This is the weird part. For $15, you get the first chapter.
That's to try to get, because it's like, well, I can't start with the end. I have to start with the beginning. Might as well spend the 15.
I guess. One that I've never heard of, but
Vault.
when I looked at it before bringing it up today, I was like, that's actually really interesting. I do enjoy that. And then it has season 3 and final season. Or I don't know if it's a full thing. Like this is a weird gray
So now
area
here, okay, so A New Frontier happened, and then the final season happened.
Well, of
yeah,
course that
but it says because what's weird is A New Frontier I think was supposed to be the final season, but then the whole closure bullshit happened, and I think they had to move everything over to Skybound to finish, if I remember correctly. If I'm remembering how this all went down. And Cross says that putting memes, Easter eggs, things like that immediately helps people connect with your product, story, etc. I agree.
Course.
I've always wanted a Jeep, and this made me want one more. My girlfriend yells when we're going down the road at different Jeeps, "What the hell's your Easter egg?" And I'm like, "Sweetheart, the windows are up. They can't hear you."
Even when they have the drop top, they just don't hear you. There are AirPods in.
Oh, I meant our windows are up.
I know.
But yeah, this is a pretty good one. What is the charity get? Oh, bonus! You also get the Oxenfree soundtrack.
Oxenfree soundtrack.
I haven't experienced enough of the soundtrack to know whether I would actually care about owning it yet.
And you also get 10% off your first month of Humble Choice. I think that stacks with the 40% off that you get for new subscribers.
Ooh.
So if you're already leaning in to buy the Summer Adventure games, buy this first, and then use our code for both, of course, for this one, and then go over to the Humble Choice. Get yourself a little under 50% off.
Okay.
But this helps out JDRF, which helps out with type 1 diabetes, if I'm not mistaken.
Awesome.
Yes, I am.
I've got family members with diabetes, so
yeah.
I know how. I don't personally, because I don't experience it, but I've seen what it does to people. So
yeah, it's not great. Aside from that, there's other little coding bundles and all that.
There's plenty of stuff with the rumors of another lockdown. This might be a saving grace. They still got the image one we covered last time. Go get yourself some Snot It's fun.
Snot.
While we're talking about graphic novels, I got a few things I'm going to hit.
Okay.
Dragon. Go ahead and pull that up. Done. Here. So Saladin Ahmed is doing a new graphic novel, and he was looking for $40,000. He has already made 87. It's about a nun and a fallen Muslim knight that fight Dracula.
Yeah.
And I love it already. I haven't experienced anything other than that, and I want to go read it. It's still got 27 days to go with 2,653 backers, just destroying that goal.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look at you working on my emotes. I appreciate that.
We need the Ugly Mugs emote.
Yeah, I'll work that one in when we get enough subs. I do love the art style.
I love the art style, and I like Dracula a lot. It's my favorite book. And so it's one of those things where seeing new stories with it, I really enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Do you know what my favorite book is?
You've told me, and I don't remember. I'm gonna go Cat in the Hat.
Close.
Green Eggs and Ham. Damn, I'm so close. No, what is it?
Even closer. It has a color in it. Think submarine.
Hunt for Red October. Okay. We all live in the Yellow Submarine.
We all live in the Yellow Submarine. Hey,
I think I'm out of submarine jokes. All right, continue. Don't look at that.
Don't look at you. Didn't see. Yeah, even still, you don't even know what those are.
Yeah, that was early. We didn't mean to.
We didn't mean to. I thought I had my excess open.
All right. Let's see. I think that's it for comic stuff, but I do have another Kickstarter.
Ooh!
That needs some love. That's the Death Ground. It's a co-op. It says Left 4 Dead-esque, but you don't, from what I see, you don't fight. It's much more
run from point A to point B.
Yeah, so it very much feels like Alien Isolation, but without fighting. So I guess the next best thing to say would Outlast. So it's a co-op thing of like trying to get away from fucking dinosaurs, and it is conveniently enough Jurassic Park to the max. You got.
Is it Dark Souls?
These games can be difficult. This whole fucking survive shit. But
iframes.
The raptors are really big and really cool.
Yeah.
And then there's a scene that it feels like they took parts of the Dennis Nedry scene mixed with the kids scene and slapped them together because you're in a Jeep with a T-Rex roaring at you and the light. And I know they can't use Jurassic Souls. I would play it, honestly.
They couldn't use the roar.
So this roar for this T-Rex was kind of lame.
It was kind of lame, but I mean, it's still scary to look at.
Yeah, they're doing some crowdfunding. You might want to go show them some respect there. I guess Jurassic Souls would be Turok for N64.
I am Turok.
That's about the best I could come up with. Who would have guessed? Survive, evade, resist, escape is hard. Yeah, you're right. I personally don't like games where I can't fight back. That's my issue. I didn't get into Outlast. I like Alien Isolation more because at least you can fight the humans, and eventually you can kind of fight the alien. But I threw a pipe bomb at her the other day.
Yeah, the alien just goes, I gotta go.
Well, I threw the pipe bomb at her, and she fucking panicked and took off. I was like, yes! But now I've got the Kinect hooked up, and I have to be careful because Lauren's going to make noises. And
because, it listens.
The Kinect helps the alien find you.
All right. Let's get a move on with the next set. Which one are we doing just so I can close this one out?
It's at Tetris. Since we were just doing gaming, we'll hit some more gaming. So,
when you told me this, I was like, there's going to be so many people playing this.
Cross wants to know our recent advert, VR gaming. I have the PlayStation VR. My issue is most VR games are kind of wash, rinse, repeat.
There are a couple that we were interested in, but we were scared of. Last week we talked about Iron Man
VR, but it looks very just repetitive and it feels a lot like other ones. And so my issue is you can only do so much with VR right now, and you're asking me to spend a lot on some of these games.
Sword Art Online reference. I think that's a Sword Art Online reference.
Nerve Gear. Yeah, I think it is. You trap into a chair, and then if you die in the game, you die in real life.
Stupid. You're stupid.
But Tetris
is getting a competitive.
Oh, and while we're talking about VR, Tetris is on VR too. I've seen it. I've seen what it's like. My issue is it's really pricey for a Tetris game, and then you feel you can charge that much because you put it on VR, but the reality is it's Tetris. Tetris doesn't need to be VR. So basically, you're charging me more for Tetris because you put it closer to my eyeballs.
Does it put the Russian music closer to your eyeballs?
I mean, with the PlayStation VR, it's whatever headset you plug in and stick in your head. So.
Oh.
Tetris 99 is the best competitive Tetris. Well, you say that, but what we're talking about here is the Tetris app just announced that they're going to do kind of an HQ type of thing here where they're going to have Tetris Prime Time, and it will be, I got the notes right here actually, 7:30 to your anchor city, whatever your closest anchor city is. So for some that's New York, for some that's Sydney. Your closest anchor city at 7:30, they will host a tournament that is $5,000 for the winner.
Well, their share of. So it could be multiple winners. It could be just a time thing, last as long as you can, and then boom, whoever's left gets that.
That's the I'm sorry. Yeah, share of $5,000. Very HQ like we're giving away $5,000. If you do well enough, you can make a couple bucks, maybe a lot, depending on how bad everyone else does.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. All the grandmasters are gonna come out of hiding.
Yeah.
I'm not a grandmaster, but I'm one of those ones that's like, ooh, I fucking play Tetris all the time in my free time. Let me get into this.
Yeah.
Here we go. So the U.S., Canada, U.K., Germany, Ireland, Spain, Switzerland, Belgium, Sweden, Norway, South Africa, Russia, Chile, Australia, and New Zealand are all getting this. So there's a couple people in the chat that'll be happy about that, I'm sure.
Yeah. I think it is unanimously decided that Tetris is not a bad game.
No, I like Tetris.
By anyone's. Like everyone goes, I don't like it, or I'm not a big fan of it, but if it's there and it's all they have, or it's there and, they got a little bit of time to spend, they'll play it.
Oh, no, I would say I'm a big fan. It's definitely my time passing game. I've got it on my phone. In fact, I've got this version on my phone. So when they launch the update, I will be ready.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Oh well, look. Cross immediately just underdoes what I said. I never got into Tetris really. Minesweeper though.
Minesweeper's good. But I suck at Minesweeper. That's the problem.
I mean, I can do. I now know the logistics of Minesweeper, where ones are never going to be where anything else is going to be. So it's around that one. Okay, so 1, 1, 1, 1, 2. Okay, that's a problem.
Sock says I was the kid who could color on MS Paint
for hours.
Mario Paint. How about that? With being able to do the sounds and shit. Yeah.
No.
And then let's go ahead and move over to Super Hot.
Super hot.
Yeah. So Super Hot. Mind Control Delete launches July 16th, and those that already bought Super Hot are going to get it for free. You just punched my mic.
I'm sorry, and I did buy it because I was going to raise it in my hand.
Didn't buy it, but I own it because it was given to me for free on Xbox. I think. I wonder if that counts. I don't. Yeah, I'm not sure how that's gonna work, but yeah, it says the third game in the franchise. What was the second game in the franchise? I
think Super Hot VR. I think might have been the second one.
Oh, that's fucking stupid to count that.
Well, Super Hot VR added extra missions.
Did it?
Yeah.
I'm not buying it for the damn VR.
You're right.
All right, but more Super Hot.
But more Super Hot.
I enjoyed it, but. I mean, once I beat it, that was it.
I mean, it's $10 right now on Steam because of the summer sale. So you buy that, then on July 16th, it'll upgrade. So you get 2 games. I like Super Hot's mechanics.
Yeah.
Where time moves when you do. That's the simple.
I feel like they could have done more for it in Minesweeper VR.
Get the fuck out of here.
Only if it's like you're on a sub, and you have to like try to figure out where the mines are around you. So you can navigate out. That would be cool.
That would be all right.
Someone make that. I'm giving you that idea for free. Let's see. You
want to talk about Krish?
Yeah, we'll talk about Krish.
Krish Bandicoot.
So we covered a couple weeks ago about the new Crash Bandicoot. It's about time game. Well, now also they're doing the one thing I'm surprised it took this long to do. They're doing a mobile game, and it's Crash Bandicoot. What was
On
it?
The Run.
Oh, see, what I got was Run from the King was the name I was seeing.
Oh, this one's is On the Run, and it's
okay.
Oh, yeah, the King.
Oh, King being this is made by Candy Crush guys. Understand now. Classic bosses. It's basically another temple run. I play a Spider-Man one kind of like this. It'll be fun. It'll be a cool thing to mess around on between waiting for the new game.
And I hope that it has the old music. The doom 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 doom.
We'll probably be able to check afterwards and actually watch the trailer. I haven't seen this trailer yet, so.
Wow.
From there we can go into Thronebreaker. We'll go to Thronebreaker.
Let me throw this over here. Do this so that way nothing else is spoiled. I figured out a way to do it.
Yay! So I haven't actually played this yet. It just hit Game Pass, and that was gonna be my first foray in playing it. But The Witcher, Thronebreaker, the Witcher Tales, it's arrived on iOS and is letting single player Gwent, letting you play single player Gwent and make hard decisions on your phone. But the cool part about it, this is where I liked it. It's gonna have cross save with PC.
So when you play it on your PC, pop it up on your phone. You can keep going while you're out and about. Come home, pop it back up on the PC, and keep going. I like that. I have always been a huge fan of cross saves because then it means pick up, drop off, pick up, take with you, drop off, whatever.
I mean, you've got a level of that. You've got a level of that with certain Xbox games to PC, but the reality is, you're not playing those on your phone. I like that you're able to play these on the phone. So now I kind of hope that we see it go from just iOS to PC to also Xbox and also PlayStation, but you know how PlayStation is about all the fucking cross-play shit and cross-saves and whatnot.
Well, with the story later on that we're going to talk about, they might be doing something.
Maybe.
I mean, that's a lot of money.
Let's go ahead and hit the box art before we hit that one.
Copy. Let me just do this. Would you look at that? Boop.
You almost clicked on it. So this one isn't anything big, but we got the box art for the Spider-Man Miles Morales. I like it. I don't like that the PlayStation 5 is got like the white behind it. It kind of throws the dynamic of the Miles look. I feel like it should have been all the way up, and they should have made the PlayStation symbol and the PS5 logo white on the darker background.
I'm not gonna lie or sugarcoat it. I think they should probably pull a little bit more from the movie, and did like the
the spray painted costume,
the spray painted, or the halfway hood,
yeah,
or something like the What's Up Danger.
They're probably. I mean, you didn't play enough of the original one. There's like fucking 30 suits for the other Spider-Man game, and they kept doing more and more free suits just for the hell of it. I bet you anything those other suits will be in the game.
I mean, I'm hoping.
And the way the suits worked is each suit had an ability.
That's
like
right.
The actual like story ones. But the cool thing was is you could move abilities, so you could wear the suit you wanted, but have a different suit's ability. So I'm sure we're going to see plenty of suits for Miles. My only issue with those suits is there was nothing to reference where they came from. Yeah, and I think that was because they were trying so hard to avoid doing an origin story, because everyone's like, I don't want another Spider-Man origin. Like, everyone freaks out about that anytime we hear something about a new Spider-Man project. So I definitely get what you're saying about the origins on the suits, like the punk rock and whatnot. There was a tie-in comic. I didn't read it, but I'm wondering if that might have explained some of it. But a lot of it's just from the general concept of the Spider-Verse being vast and unknown.
I mean, all of the Spider men, women, children, what have you, there are aplenty. There is how many universes or how many multiverses?
No, I don't even know. There's so many.
Because there is a number, and then there's the number, and then the subclass, like 133A, 133B, and so on. So that means that there isn't just the number conglomerate. There's also letter conglomerates that are similar to, but offshoot.
The other thing Goon's saying is, no, that's fine, but I mean, if the noir suit, they could have said, like, from insert comic here.
Well, but the noir suit is from Spider-Man Noir.
Well, yeah, but I get what he's saying. They kind of did it with, if you go back and play the original PlayStation Spider-Man game.
Yeah.
They did it with those suits and stuff like that. They had like when you went to the actual suit selection thing, it gave you information. Like, for instance, that one had a suit that the other one has. A couple of suits that other one had, but like it had like the bombastic Spider-Man, which in this I think they called it the bombastic Bagman, but I think in one of the other ones it was called like the Fantastic Bagman or something like that.
Okay.
In the original PlayStation game, they explained like the story behind the suit and where it came from as like a thing you read next to the suit when you're selecting the suit. Yeah. Same thing with the Ben Reilly sweater and all that.
And it even says what comic they first appeared in.
And I think that's what he's saying they should have done for the PlayStation 4 Spider-Man.
Concur. But
and then we can hit the big one, unless you got something you want to hit before it.
Let's hit this big one. So Sony just dropped $250 million on a minority stake in Epic Games.
That includes a good chunk of it going to Fortnite and a good chunk of it going to Unreal Engine.
So what they're going to do is they're going to probably own less than 49%, because that is not a majority stake, but a minority stake. So it means they own up to 49% of Epic Games, which is interesting. So we're probably going to be starting to look at a lot of Unreal Engine being pushed toward the PlayStation 5. We're going to be seeing a lot of different assets being either reused perfectly. The people reuse assets all the time. It's actually one of the most common things people do. But it makes me wonder what they are going to do with this ability. You put $250 million to another company, buy it, and what then? Are they wanting to overthrow Epic Games?
Yeah.
This is going to be a weird one. I actually don't know what Sony plans on doing with Epic Games.
I wonder if this is to try to get past the damn exclusive on Epic Games type of crap.
But that still raises up the alienating thing of, that's fine if it's available only on Epic Games. It's still going to release on Steam 6 months later. 6 months to a year, depending on game.
Well, I was going to say Metro was a fucking year.
Metro was a year. Borderlands 3 was about 8 months. Really?
So I don't...
Psyonix is owned by Epic now?
I thought Psyonix was owned by Microsoft. We'll double check that right now. But from my understanding, it was directly like towards... Epic. Okay,
Ooh.
yeah. From my understanding, it was directly towards Fortnite and Unreal. But because those are part of Epic, therefore they have a minority control in Epic. So I think it wasn't that they went and bought a minority control in Epic. They went and bought a bunch of Ubisoft right there, fucked me up. A bunch of Unreal and a bunch of Fortnite, and because of those two combined, they now own a minority of Epic. I don't think they actually, because with it being a minority, they have no control over Epic. So I'm assuming with like Cynox, they don't have any control on that because they didn't buy any of Cynox. What's the other one that Epic owns right now?
Technically a bit of 2K.
Okay, so yeah.
No, not 2K. I'm sorry,
Gearbox. So I'm assuming they wouldn't have anything to say on Gearbox. I think the main goal was seeing where they're going to take Fortnite next, and also having the ability to use the Unreal Engine without actually having to pay for it, because now they partially own it or whatever. And the Unreal Engines aren't half bad. Granted, most of the Unreal Engines are free. The newest version is the only one you have to pay for, and you can do a lot with those old versions.
Maybe it is a weird partnership type of thing. So. Yeah. But even still, I'm curious where that's going to take Rocket. Well, I mean, Rocket League is already on it. It's just I'm curious where it's going to go. But I need to play it. You know, I need to get back into Rocket League. Me and you played it for a brief time.
Yeah. I feel like Rocket League isn't gonna. They'll probably be exclusives based on what you're playing. Like he's making a joke about Fortnite coming to Rocket League. It might, but it'll probably be on PlayStation and Epic Game Store. You may not be able to get it if you're playing on Microsoft.
Yeah, that
may be what they do.
He made the joke about it a long time ago, and it slipped out of my head until he just mentioned it.
I don't see it leaving Xbox or leaving Microsoft or Steam or anything like that, because they'd be killing half of their freaking sales.
Yeah, no. That and what? Only the people who have already bought it? That's
also, to be fair, them taking over in 2019 explains the changes I didn't like to Rocket League.
Oh, the
DLCs leaving, the whole blueprint thing and whatnot. I already don't like the way they're fucking running it then. Back to what they were saying about the Super Suit 598438 thing, where they're talking about they would like backstories on the suit stuff.
Yeah.
The one thing I did like in that game is when you found the items in the backpacks there was actually a voiceover and he would talk about the items.
Yeah.
So the suit's really the only spot where it was kind of weird.
And then Jay Jonah would yell about his stuff.
That was all so fucking amazing.
It was.
So yeah, this is a big leap for. That was the.
Same thing. Okay, cool.
This was a big leap, and I'm curious to see where it goes.
Like, yeah, like if you put $250 million into a company, that's not chump change. That is not chump change.
The worst thing is, like, you could feel the Epic takeover. Well, that's the thing, like, with Sony owning parts in these, I mean, Epic has no control over Sony, so it's more of a Sony takeover than anything, so... Or if you're saying when it comes to Rocket League, then maybe, yeah.
Because we're... Okay, Sony is the bigger company here.
No.
Yeah, for real. But... Oh, for Rocket League.
Yeah, he meant for Rocket League.
Oh. I mean, kind of?
Yeah.
I don't see a problem with it. It's just, it's going to really alienate a few people. It's just, I hope they don't ruin what's already there on Steam or on console.
I feel like when Psylocke was its own company, you got things like the WWF cars and stuff like that. When Psylocke is a company connected, owned by Epic Game, what was the last big deal we saw? I mean, yeah, they did events for the New Year's and stuff.
The summer one wasn't bad.
But did it bring any, like, new IPs?
I wouldn't. I mean, it did a lot of individual things because it was like samurai style. It had a lot of anime style things.
Yeah,
It was interesting, unique items. I wouldn't say IP bring in, but it had a lot of interesting items. It had the freaking engine that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, I like the IPs. The IPs is what brought me into Rocket League.
So you want more partnerships?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't think Epic's the kind that wants to do that.
No.
The last big IP was Stranger Things. How long ago was that?
No, well, that was the big one. But I would say the minor offset would probably be the wrestling, the 80s movies.
Yeah, but that was over a year ago. That was one of the first things we covered on the pod.
Stranger Things was before that. Stranger Things was when
I'm talking about the wrestling.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, I don't think Epic's looking to do the partners.
Then yeah, Stranger Things would be the last big one.
Yeah, the Sony purchase is a big deal.
Yeah, I just don't know what the fuck it's gonna do.
So let's go ahead and hit choose.
But shoe news. All right, so if you didn't read this off on the right,
when he screwed up.
I
said when you screwed up.
When I screwed up. That's fine. But if you didn't read this on the side, would you think these shoes here are McDonald's shoes? Fucking Grimace looking ass.
I mean, they do look kind of evil like Grimace.
Yeah.
He was the evil Grimace.
Yeah.
Yes, I would. Yay, shoe news. No, I don't get McDonald's until we see the McDonald's logo right there on the fucking bottom of the shoes, which no one's gonna see.
Well,
unless you're kicking their ass on the ground.
Hold on. There's a little tiny tab right here. Let me.
Okay, so Stranger Things was 2019, but WWF was 2018. So okay, they had one big thing with Stranger Things.
Okay.
So at least there's that.
Good.
Does that say hardened sauce?
Yeah, that is the name of these ones. Well, it's for a player named Harden.
This is him finding. Oh, okay. Well, for a player, that's different. And it's got little M's in the stitching on the inside.
Yeah.
This is his shoe news. My shoe newses are better. I hate purple. McDonald's has the old color scheme with the purple. Yeah. I wouldn't wear these.
Grimace. His name is Grimace.
Yeah. He was originally evil, and they, for some reason, got away from that.
Just they wanted everyone except for Birdie.
What happened to the fried kids? Like, the fried kids stopped being a thing.
The fried kids stopped being a thing because they didn't want to. It was being foreshadowed greatly by the Burger King ones.
The terrifying fucking King. Oh, the BK kids. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. A water shoe, kind of.
Yeah.
It does look like a water boot.
Mine are still better.
Yeah, like
I would not wear these. These are hideous.
These are hideous, but at the same time, people will collect them. Hopefully they don't crease them. But yeah, no.
They can make these, but we can't get Szechuan sauce year round.
Now see a Szechuan sauce.
A Szechuan sauce.
A Szechuan sauce. Yeah, Szechuan sauce shoe.
There you go.
People will buy it.
Chuck E. Cheese went skinny and healthy. Yeah, now they're fucking bankrupt. Wendy's went better. McDonald's dropped a lot of Ronald McDonald. So there's a McDonald's out here that has a basement. I know a guy that used to run. He was the general manager of
Hearing you say that kind of freaked me out a little
Yeah.
bit. Go ahead.
I know a guy that was general manager of a bunch of McDonald's, and he actually left because his wife also was general manager for a bunch of McDonald's out here. So she stayed doing that, and he went on to do other stuff. But they do charity events still for like the Ronald McDonald House.
Okay.
And he had to take a bunch of like the buffet stuff down to the basement. And he showed me a photo, and he goes, "The lights weren't on in the basement." And I'm going down the stairwell, and I look to my side, and it's just a fucking mural of Ronald McDonald smiling at you in the fucking dark as you're going down the stairs into a basement.
That's a mod, and you know it. Goon just said, you know who picked up Ronald McDonald? Rivals of Aether, which is a Super Smash Brothers clone. We talked about that.
I think so.
But yeah, there's a mod
for Ronald McDonald.
And Hyper Golden.
If it's not the mod that makes Deathclaws Macho Man Randy Savage, I don't care.
Oh yeah.
All right, the rest of the shoe news. We have a triple shoe news for you guys this week.
Boom.
I'm sure Socks is loving it. This is the first one I found.
This was the first one you found. Some Chucks.
Yeah, they're Looney Tunes Chucks. On the bottom, they say that's all, folks. They look great. You have to scroll down for the rest of them. I would wear these. I won't wear the purple mistake, but I would wear these.
Yeah. And then there is that's all, folks.
The socks, we did have the Ronald statues for a while out here too. They were mostly on benches inside of Walmart.
Doing this.
So that you could sit under their arm. They got rid of most of them though.
Yeah.
And then so these ones don't have a release date yet, but they do say coming soon. So they expect them very soon.
It doesn't say that's all, folks, because I was like, that's not an A, but it says just us Kith.
Oh, I thought that said all. That's all, folks. I am completely wrong. My bad. They're celebrating the 75th anniversary, or 75th birthday of Bugs Bunny, which is July 27th. But I don't think that's when they're going to release the shoes.
Available now.
It says has no release date. Available now. That's very.
Let's see.
Back and forth there.
But no, nothing on Kith.
Yeah. See.
I'm not gonna. Okay.
What's up, Doc? No. Is it say what's up? No.
Nope,
It
says just us Kith.
Yeah. No. It would have been better if it said what's up, Doc, or that's all, folks. Especially if it said that's all, folks, and you're like curb stomping someone.
Yeah. But yeah, just us Kith right here.
All right. And the third shoe news, because we gotta wrap this up.
We do gotta wrap it up a little. Yeah, no, I don't know why the fuck someone's trying to plug it. Whatever. And the last one, boom. I like it.
Yeah, this is just part of it. Pokemon, Adidas, they're doing a huge lineup. We're getting shoes, bags, all kinds of shit. So these are the Pikachus.
Yeah, like, yo, don't get dirt on my Pikachus.
Yeah, my issue would be like these are fucking stark white. They're gonna show everything.
They're gonna show everything, but they're gonna look nice.
Yeah.
And then they had the full line. They got bags,
a nice bag,
and they didn't showcase too
much.
They have clothes, but they didn't showcase too much on this. Please tell me that I could just slide over. And it's Japanese, of course.
3,289. Was that yen?
Yeah, so it's about $31.
That's not bad. That's good. That's good for a bag.
Yeah, and it comes in black and red.
Cool. So. All right. Do you have anything to wrap up? I got one last thing.
Negative Ghost Rider.
The pattern is full. All right. So last night, the Fighter Fest was last night for AEW. We had you watch a match.
Yes.
8-man tag. What do you think of the Lucha Brothers?
Okay, you're running this by me.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody in that ring had something to bring, including the Butcher, who I thought was like, ooh, that's not very. He's not very.
He's been good in the past.
He's not very built. That's always been my problem.
No, the Butcher's been good in the past. I feel like as soon as the lockdown hit, we kind of started seeing some rough matches with them. But the Butcher and the Blade are good.
Yeah,
they lost Bunny, which is weird because she's married to, I think, the Blade, but now she's over with one of Cody's friends. I don't know.
Okay. In short, I liked the match. The entire match was just good flow.
Yeah.
There was no downkeep.
And that's what I've been saying I felt about WWF, and the big difference I'm noticing with AEW is with WWF there's very much, all right, we did a move. Now let's like sit here heaving for 10 minutes while we just
they're gassed. They're
tired. That was so hard. But AEW go. All the Fighter Fest was great. The Orange Cassidy Jericho match was great. They fucking threw orange juice in his face.
They made orange. When Orange Cassidy goes against him one more time, he's gonna come out stronger.
Yeah.
Like there is no ifs, ands, or buts. That was a very good match, just to get ended the way it did. But yeah, fine. If you're calling for Jericho to win that way, fine. You have your shitty little.
Remember, he's the bad guy. He cheated. He won because he cheated.
Yes, but at the same time, Cassidy put up a fight. Like there, I don't care who you are. You get orange juice splashed in your face. Even one drop gets in the eye. That is citrus fruit in your eye.
I don't think I've ever had orange juice thrown in my face, so I don't actually.
I'd like to go get some.
I'd rather you not. Threatening me over here. Yes. Quarantine muscle degradation. No, it wasn't that he like lost muscle because of the quarantine. It was more.
That's his body type.
It's his body type. It was more. They didn't have good spots. They didn't have good people to go against because when it hit, they were very like, we've got a very small roster right now. We've got like 20 people, and so they just didn't have people to match them well, and it became kind of weird watching their matches. This was a lot better, seeing them actually kind of get in there and do some shit with people.
But overall, those two matches that you showed me, very, very entertaining.
And that was just 2 of like 5.
I want to say it looked to be about 5 viewership at the total.
Because there was the title. Yeah, I think it was 5.
And you showed me a couple spots from, I don't remember the Exalted One.
Oh, Brody Lee.
Yeah, I will admit those couple of spots that you showed me during that match, pretty high.
He's
energy.
trying to get Colt Cabana to join by going, look, you win matches when you fight with us. He keeps letting him pin people he's taken down because Cabana was on a losing streak. He's trying to get him to switch over to the Dark Order.
Now, that bruise, is that real?
I don't know. They said he was thrown into rails in the back, which we didn't see, and that was the bruise and everything, and then they taped him up before he came out. I don't know if it's kayfabe or if it was real, but it looked pretty fucking good.
I mean, all you see is just this big old gash, like from just over the gut to about here, just purple.
Yeah.
It is fucking
that
purple.
Yellowish color to it, too, around the edges. Speak already, Cliff. Is there something wrong with his mic, or are you...
Hello?
Are we missing a joke?
I think I'm missing a joke.
Okay.
Like, I'm seeing the bar move.
Gotcha. Stupid! But yeah, Fighter Fest was great.
Fighter Fest seemed to have been great. I'm going to actively try and get onto...
Fighter Fest was a pay-per-view that was turned into 2 regular episodes of Dynamite rather than making people pay for it. Because of everything that's going on and whatnot.
Okay, that's fine and fair. I did the slime thing? Slime thing? Huh? Bro.
I don't know. You know him better than me.
I don't know. I don't even know him half as good as I think I do sometimes. I did the slime thing.
You what, mate? I swear my mom.
You swear my mom. Glass ya. And then any last minutes?
No, we didn't mention tonight's movies. That's about it.
Well, Yeah, we were wishy-washy with tonight's movies, but...
No, we've had a final
down.
decision.
Yeah.
So tonight's movies, we're going to do the Final Girls, which I haven't seen, he hasn't seen, none of us have seen in the house, actually.
Not even Lauren?
Not even Lauren. Me and Lauren saw it on a countdown and went and immediately bought it because we love the concept so much. It's the main actress from all the American Horror Story stuff, the younger one, to Famiga. Something Famiga. But basically, it's a bunch of kids or teenagers get sucked into a horror movie and have to like survive the tropes and get out. And it looks like a lot of fun. The other one is his name is Bruce, which is Bruce Campbell. The actor is hired by a town for what he thinks is just a spot because of his movies. What he doesn't realize is they think his movies are real, and they have hired him because they have an actual monster he needs to fight.
So what he's talking about the slime is me and him are watching an anime that he thoroughly enjoys called I Died and Reincarnated as a Slime.
Okay, I've heard of it.
I'm liking it so far, but there is a dwarven character that only goes ooh ooh. And I did it offhandedly, and I
gotcha.
I paid it no mind. But I think that's us for the night. I will this time I'll actually throw the Discord link into the description. I did not do that last week. I do apologize. I have been very sleep deprived over the last couple of weeks, but today's a little bit better. Discord's going in there. Be sure to check out our links for Good Coffee, Geek Grind right above me, Humble Bundle over on that side right behind Quincey. Check us all out for that.
I lost my list of coffee puns.
I mean, I could use the one that I did earlier for the tea.
You know what? Go for it. You're going to make the pun tonight because I lost my coffee puns.
I mean, I'm sorry that I don't have a lot of matcha to talk about, but at least we did it.
Yeah. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Much to do about nothing.
Much to do about nothing.
All right. That's all we got for you guys. Have a good one. And wash your hands.
Wash your fucking hands, you ingrates.